see where we can correct. So,
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I thought, so I think what we are going to address ourselves is more of challenges of the system of implementation. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask myself another question which one of my colleagues raised here about the teachers training colleges. Mr. Speaker, I'm a worried man. All the teachers colleges are almost empty in this country. And yet we are implementing CBC. So we should ask ourselves, how can we go back and train more teachers? So I think we carry some more audit, do a crash program on training teachers so that we can be able to run this program. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to ask the government to allocate more funds. And in fact, I'm going to ask the government to channel the funds through CDF. Let us get more money in CDF fund so that we can be able to implement some of these programs, particularly the infrastructure. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, I rise and I want to support the motion. I want to say that CBC should continue, but we must amend several areas. This House has a duty to make sure that the system works. And Mr. Speaker, I am going to ask the chairman of the Education Committee that he recalls we can address the working committee, we can look at the whole report and be able to amend where is possible. Mr. Speaker, I support CBC and I also thank Mr. Kaluma for bringing the motion to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. The Honorable Leah Sankaire, Kajiado.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to make my contribution to this important motion before the House by the Honorable Member, Honorable Kaluma. Mr. Speaker, I think a proper survey was not done before introduction and the implementation of CBC. And it was not done, and therefore that is why we have inadequate learning and teaching materials, making it the burden of the parents to provide for the same. If proper planning was done and a proper survey was done, the things that we're discussing here today would have been done at the initial stages or the initial phase of planning. And so when we come to the implementation part of it, we would have put these things in order. So I think, Mr. Speaker, a proper survey was not done. And if it was not done in all the parts of the country. Sometimes when we rise to